Welcome to the Red Centre, the heart of Australia, where the endless red dirt tracks stretch for hundreds of kilometers and not a soul is in sight. But here's the twist. It's the rainy season and we are about to discover this fascinating region like few see it. This is our final adventure in this incredible country and we're determined to make it unforgettable. Join us as we journey from South Australia to Darwin, track down the last elusive creature on our must-see list, and explore one of the country's most iconic landmarks. Red Centre, here we come. We are Nick and Mathilde, and we've left everything behind to travel the 7 continents with our Land Rover Defender, the Albatross.
Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, Asia, and Africa. A world tour for real. We want to see it all.
Day 1976. We are in the heart of Australia's Red Centre.
This is the next Meridian expedition. Hello there. So,
welcome to what is potentially the last video of our Australia tour after 9 months in the country.
wow, we've got 10 days to get to Darwin. Actually, in 10 days we're shipping. We have 7 days to get to Darwin. But before that, we're going to something called Ayers Rock in the center of the Red Desert of Australia. It's supposed to be 45 Celsius, but because of the clouds it is perfect. It is like 31.
We never loved so much bad weather. Thank you, bad weather.
Exactly. Hopefully it doesn't rain because then this track will become slick. But right now it's perfect. So we've got 350 Ks until Ayers Rock, and then we're gonna go visit other canyons and gorges and all that via the track. So probably 1,000 Ks until we get back into tarmac highway till Darwin.
It's the best way to finish Australia with something so iconic and before going to Asia.
Alright, let's go.
And it couldn't feel more Australians. Very high kilometers to reach anywhere. Nick that deflates the tires and a long and straight track of orange dirt.
We're so glad to finish off on this dirt track going towards Ayers Rock because we've always heard of the stories of the central of Australia also just being massive, but like huge farms for cattle. And so they have a ranch right in the middle of that farm, 1,000 kilometers away from the main road.
Currently there's one that is the size of Texas in Australia.
Okay, so just imagine that. We had some concerns about the rain, but nothing prepared us for what awaited. The track we were driving on had been drenched just hours earlier, turning it into a slippery mud pit.
The roads are more and more flooded, so now we have a giant puddle that looks a bit more like a lake at this stage. So we need to find a way around because we don't know how sticky it gets in the bottom.
thing with going at this speed is to not get stuck in any of these things, because gosh, before someone comes and gets us, it's going to be a while. So we need to make sure we're smart, and if we do cross anything like that, that we have enough speed to kind of just launch ourselves the other side. This is fun.
On the main road after the track, and we got our first sight of Uluru, which is probably the most famous landmark in Australia. And believe it or not, it's in the middle of the desert and we're getting a full-on rain now.
Full-on rain.
It's probably happening just a few days per year, and we happen to be here on one of those days. We're still hoping we will be able to get a sunset on Uluru, but with the weather right now, nothing is sure.
We are so lucky, because here in the desert it's supposed to be all orange and just dry, and if we look around, it is just green. So we're walking with flowers left and right, we're walking with greenery left and right, and the big orange rock. Seriously, I think we're extremely lucky. This is Australia saying, you guys have been great, you can go back home, and I'm gonna give you one last present. Right?
Lucky ass.
Lucky ass. And look, no rain, but clouds, keeping us cool from the 45 Celsius weather, so nice.
Uluru and Katachuta hold deep spiritual significance for the Aboriginal people of that region. We'll only show you snippets of the hikes, as we won't film the cliffs themselves. It's a sacred place, and some of the rock formations carry lessons meant to be shared in person. We were starting to understand why the site holds such a profound meaning for the traditional owners of the land.
It's funny because we're not spiritual people, but here in the middle of all the valleys of the winds and hearing some of the stories of the Aboriginals, it really feels like this place has a lot of energy and power. It's like big energy around here. Plus with all the big boulders, you feel tiny and puny. So yeah, it's very interesting. Very cool. This is hilarious. If you look at the parking lot over there, you've got all white cars and one that is just
Orange?
Orange.
It's the Donald Trump of the cars.
Yeah, Albo, look at you. You look like an adventure car. True adventure cars look like that.
You're proud, huh?
I think it's good.
Is that dinner spot?
This is dinner spot in front of
Uluru.
And hopefully the sunset will be nice. You know, we wished for all the clouds and the rain, but maybe the sunset therefore will not be perfect because it's all covered with clouds.
No sunset at Uluru for us, thanks to the cloudy sky. But we like to think that seeing Uluru in the rain is even more unique. The next day, we drove for hours through the unchanging outback to reach Kings Canyon, also known as Watarka, another jewel of the Red Center.
like an alarm or something. Never heard one this loud.
I would love to see what it looks like.
Crazy.
We enjoyed the hike through the canyon, where rock formations loom like ancient cities frozen in time. But what we'll remember most didn't happen on the trail. No, it came when we were back on the road, our final surprise of Australia, the last animal on our must-see list, the elusive thorny devil. We were looking for one last animal in Australia.
And when I was driving, I saw this tiny little thing and I was like, it's gotta be the thorny devil.
You found it! Nick shouted, "Thorny devil!" on the road. It's so small.
Oh, nice.
Apparently it walks like a robot. Flowing.
Yeah.
That's the rains. We drove all afternoon all the way to Kings Canyon, one of our last stops on this way up. And we've seen pictures of this place, this exact place, and it was all orange. Everything was orange, just dirt and desert. And now it just looks green, just like life. It changes so much. And all the way back, those cliffs are Kings Canyon.
Looks like we're overlooking the safari.
Looking for the zebra.
Yeah. No sunset at Uluru, but a thorny devil and a sunset at Kings Canyon. Well, we'll take it. It's the little moments like these that make the desert feel alive.
Track started. It's corrugated, meaning
Tire pressure.
tire pressure. But look, we're slowly finding again the Northern Territory type of landscape. We have some termite mounds just here. We are now leaving Kings Canyon. It was a super nice hike, but we're happy we're leaving now because the temperature is getting high. We have one last stop in the Red Center that is planned. It's a bit weird to think it's one of our last stop, kind of real visiting stop in Australia, but we're also excited for what's coming next. So next up, I think Nick was saying, was a meteorite site crash? Meteorite crash site. Is that right?
Well, that's what I've been told. It's we'll find out, I guess. Out here, in this season, we barely cross paths with anyone. Just the occasional wrecked car, dingoes, and wild horses. We didn't notice it at first, but it was on our off-road map. And when we launched the drone, it became clear. We had stumbled onto a meteorite crash site. What an epic final stop to our Red Center adventure.
After a million hours on the road today, we made it to Alice Springs. So the car is disgusting. And we want to make sure that the red dirt goes. Because we are so scared that it's going to stain the white of the car. So now big clean in Alice Spring. Let's make it happen. Satisfied with the cleaning?
Well, as a first level, yeah. Because now that we have 3 days, 4 days of highway with sun, at least it won't crust in to the whiteness. And hopefully we can save albatross from becoming a constant orange. We have just arrived at this random campsite. The moon is out, sunset is on, and we're next to this tower. Not really sure what it is because we got no signal. And we're about to make dinner and we're parked here. Now the thing is, we have passed the tropics of Capricorn. It is getting a lot more humid. The temperature has been 41 today. Right now it's 33. We are boiling.
And I don't know if you noticed, but the sounds have changed. It's much more green around us. It's rainy season now. And we can feel like, yeah, it's not the same sound than in the desert. It's many more birds, many more insects. It's the tropics.
This is it. Now we're on the final stretch, the last leg of our journey through Australia. Back on the Stour Highway, the iconic road that links the country's center to the north. We pass massive road trains, endure sweltering heat, and catch glimpses of distant fires.
We can see around us everything is so much drier. No rain in this area. The grass is turning yellow, and there's big fire smoke coming out just on the side here. I hope the fire won't come next to the highway, although it's pretty cool but pretty scary at the same time.
By the end of the day, we're just a few hundred kilometers from Darwin, our final destination.
Croc or no croc? That is the question.
I think now that we're really high north and the floods have been lots of rain, I think it's crocs. Lots of crocs.
We just made it to our last camp spot of Australia.
The last final.
How does that feel?
After 9 months in Australia, it feels like time just went in a second. And luckily for us, we found a really cool camp spot. And the sunset's behind us. You can hear the river, there's birds over there. So Australia, thanks a lot. And everybody who has helped us along the way or we've met along the way, yes, you. And if you're thinking, what about me? If you've met us, then definitely you too. Special shout out to France, who hosted us in Perth and lent us his red truck while we were waiting for our boat. The Geraldton family.
Jess and Julian.
Yeah, you guys helped us when we had the engine breakdown and you guys were legends. Special shout out as well to Anna and Terry in Tasmania for lending us your van and being so caring and showing us around. And then of course to every one of you for hosting us, because on the East Coast we've been hosted practically every other day.
And everyone who contributed to our GoFundMe also when we had the engine breakdown. Like, thanks to you, we were able to go back on the road and continue this expedition. So that was huge, huge.
So thanks to all of you. Thank you, Australia. Thank you, continent number 5. And see you later down under.
Oh, that's a good phrase.
Darwin, we're staying with our friend Andre, whom we first met 6 months ago on our very first stop in the region. He's offered us a place to stay, an escape the sweltering heat, and a spot to prep the albatross for its next big journey. Andre, thank you. You made our preparation the most comfortable it could have been. This is our 4th international car shipment on this world tour, and by now, we know the drill.
This red Australian dust, man, it's going. We made it to Darwin and it is so warm, probably 35-40 Celsius, very humid, and luckily we have a bit of clouds today, but they usually go past pretty fast, so we're dying of heat. So as you saw here, there was a lot of laundry. I'm cleaning everything from top to bottom, and we will start fresh in Asia. We are also going to change all the oils of albatross as they are available in Australia, easy to get, and that way we'll start Asia fresh, but also with the right oils. Then we clean the bonnet bag because that one was really dirty. What are you doing?
I'm cleaning the bonnet bag. The red dirt in Australia is so greasy and so sticky. It's like, this thing was disgusting. And the only solution we found, we tried like power wash, we tried everything. The only solution we found is water hose, sponge, cleaner, everyone in the bathtub.
Gosh, and your face is super red because it's so humid in here, huh?
It's hot.
Yeah. Alright, good luck. And then chassis clean, everything's ready. So we don't need to spend 8 days like we did in Argentina to ship to Australia. We just have to make sure that everything is done the next 2 days, because in 4 days we need to drop off the car for shipping in Darwin, heading towards East Timor. But all of the shipping information and the details and how-tos and all that good stuff and administration, we will put that in a Wednesday help video, which will come out sometime in January. And that way we can give you all the information about that. But for now, we have a job, and that is to clean out the albatross, get the paperwork done, send it to the agent, and goodbye. So all of our gear is in here. This is everything that's going back into Albo. This is Mathilde's stuff, just checking out what she wants, some electronics. This is my backpack for the next 2 weeks while we wait for Albo to arrive. And these are all the things going home because it's going to be only hot and humid, so we don't need any of it. And that's it. So a little bit of work, but it'll be sweet.
The thing we need to do is sort our pharmacy bag. There are some medication, like ones with codeine, that are illegal in Southeast Asia, especially in Indonesia. You can go to jail for having a codeine type of medication. So we're sorting that out because we really don't want to go to jail in Indonesia.
Yeah, no way.
We could be like considered drug dealers, I think. They can charge you for that kind of thing. No good. I'm sure Albo will make it into Timor. It's not sure if you will make it into Timor.
Exactly. Yeah, I hope I can make it into Timor.
Yeah, you'll have to clean yourself first. After 5 days, we are almost ready to bring the albatross to the port. I literally just have that to put in the car, and then it's the big moment. And after 5 days of hard work, the albatross is looking as good as new. People often ask us if we get tired of living out of a car, but the truth is, this car is our home. And it's in moments like these, when we step out of the car, that we really feel like camping. But we've mastered the art of compact living. For the next few weeks, we'll be living out of our Matador gear. And that's what we call living compact. 8 a.m. in Darwin, Australia. It's one of those sticky days. It's an exciting day because it's the conclusion of this whole week of preparation for the car. Finally going to Asia, but it's also a bit stressful because we still need to get our car back from the customs, and you never know if they found something wrong. Maybe you got fined in other places of the country or something else, so fingers crossed all goes well and Albo can leave safely.
It's gonna be awesome!
Awesome!
Nice!
Nice!
We got our carnet back and everything has been stamped. We are validated out of Australia, no problems. So now we are at our broker who puts our car into a container and ships it to Timor. And this is all we needed to finally get it shipped. So, bam! Carnet passage.
We ran everywhere so much during this week that I forgot to clean the radiator because we have tons of insects in it. So Nick was like, "Did you clean the radiator?" I was like, "Oops." So let's try to remove some insects before we have to go.
Since our first shipment, we've always put moisturizer absorbers. So we got more, and especially here where it's so humid, we need some. Container buddies have arrived, Nicole and Matt in their troopy, and so the moment has come.
They look quite nice together, huh?
Yeah, we have to take a picture for the next one.
Does the troopy have a name?
Yeah,
Trixie.
Trixie?
yeah. It's a custom number plate.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Trixie?
Couldn't have. We're gonna
I filled it right
do
to the brim.
Southeast Asia, and then our final destination is the most northern point in Scotland.
Job done. Bam.
The albatross is all packed up and we're off to a neighboring country while it makes its way to Dili, East Timor. Sir, why are you fleeing Australia?
Because I've been here for 9 months and it is time to get out of Australia and go to the next place, which is New Zealand.
New Zealand? Why are you going to New Zealand? I thought you were going to Asia. Your car is going to Asia.
I know, but we got 3 weeks and we were like, gosh, where should we go? And New Zealand is really next door. And then we have a good friend called Tom and he's like, yo man, you should take my Defender. And we said, okay, well, you know what? We're coming, so we're gonna spend Christmas with his family. And then we're gonna take his Defender and we're gonna go on a 16-day trip of about 3,000 kilometers all around the South Island. And we're gonna do New Year's, I don't know where, but it will just be the 2 of us, I think. And then we'll drop the car and fly to Asia. And continue on with albatross.
You're pretty crazy, sir. You're pretty crazy. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. Oh, to all of you too. Thank you.
We might be leaving Australia behind, but the adventure is far from over. Subscribe to the channel and join us as we explore new countries, new continents, new horizons. And that's traveler spirits. The laundry didn't quite dry because it's so humid out there. So Nick just hung his laundry to dry on the barbed wires of the custom office.